It's not very warm today. The rain started early this morning, and I was hoping to get some stuff done, take the dogs for a walk. It looks like it's easing up a little bit now, but then it just starts coming back. So I'm going to try and get a couple of jobs done around the house. I've got a door that I have to make for an overhead area, so it's like a bit of a barn door, I suppose you would say, like a small one, like, you know, like one of those loft doors, but on the outside. So am I making sense? So I've got some of the Eero driftwood left over, so I'm going to try and make the door out of there. So one thing we've had to do since we've been going through this period is to make sure that the van is running every day, because the battery's running flat because it's not having the travel time to charge the battery up. Just want to show you the door. Let's have a look. Well, there we are. This is the door I want to show you. This is goes above an outbuilding I've actually got, so I want to get a door on there. We've got the membrane on the outside. This is all ready for Waney Edge board when they reopen, but I want to get a little door just in here, just to stop. Well, I was hoping to bring you a little bit more about what I was doing, the vlog today, about what I was doing around the house, and trying to get the that little door done. And unfortunately I haven't done it because we've been taking Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, virtual appointments, speaking to a lot of people up and down the country, and I'd like to think that we've offered them some good advice. They've told us that it's been good advice. So we've gone from the south of the country down towards London, Surrey, the Midlands today, and we've ended up in Yorkshire. And then eventually we've been talking to our accountant, even on a Saturday, and doing a Zoom meeting with him. So it just goes to show that the benefits of having that digital media and being able to speak to people, especially during this period. But I think the benefits are that you'll be able to do this in normal times, and it's going to save you running around across the country. Yeah, there are times when you have to speak to people and you have to have those meetings, and but it's worked today. It's been absolutely perfect. Well, we're in the garden room, got the log store behind us, still not finished, but we've been out for a beautiful walk this morning. It's a little bit overcast, but there's nothing better than listening to the morning chorus on days like this. This week we're going to be talking about plants, and here we have an Ilex crenata. That's the variety, okay? In this form, it's called a Japanese cloud tree, very architectural, ideal as an ornamental plant in your garden. In this case, it comes in an Italian terracotta pot, okay? And this particular Italian terracotta pot is going to ensure that it's not going to break during the winter periods. If you want to talk about plants this week, or you've got a problem in your garden, just comment below or send us an email to info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. I've just done a short video for my Facebook account, and I was just talking about the Japanese quince, the Chinomales, and yeah, I know a little bit about these plants, but obviously it's there for us to read. The information's there, so when you're going out buying plants and you want to learn about plants, it's very, very simple. There it is, and it'll tell you everything about what soil type, whether it likes sun or part shade, or whether it likes full shade, what it does when it flowers, whether it's a deciduous plant, an evergreen plant, or even an herbaceous perennial. In this case, this is a Shionomi, a Japanese quince, and I'll always remember at Pershore College they always had two of these plants growing outside the reception area. One had a yellow flower and one had a red flower, and I always remember these plants when I was a kid, but I never knew what the name was and didn't know much about it, and that's why it's so important to learn about the plants. You can still see it budding there, and beautiful plant. When it's deciduous, and when it drops its leaves, that's when you're able to harvest the fruit on it, and you can make jam out of it, or jellies, etc., and you can actually eat them straight off the tree as well. But it'll grow up to about 5 meters in height and probably half the amount again. But you can actually train these get my words muddled at me. You can train these as an espalier, so you'll have them at different heights, almost like those pear trees or those apple trees. And beautiful plant, and it works perfectly. And obviously you can let it go as a climber as well, so it depends what sort of format and what you're like as a person, what you want to create in your garden. Now this has been in a pot now for probably 8 months, and I have to find a place to put it. Along the railings over there isn't suitable really over there, because this is part of the garden room here, and I've got raspberries going over there, so I've got to find somewhere in the garden for this quince. So looking forward to getting that in. Well, there you go. That's all come out of that loft space there, all that waste grass. I don't even know why I was keeping it for, thinking I can use it again. If you've got anything that you think you can use, sometimes it's just not even worth it. That's been in there for a couple of years, so that's got to go. All right, well, we're back on this little door, and I've made this little sill now so the water can run down the face of the door and run off, and there's a little drip on the end of it as well. I'm going to clean this up in a moment, and you'll be able to see this is some spare aero decking, and it's just ideal for that door. Just got that rural rustic look about it. But I'll clean it up now in a moment with the Rubio Monocoat. Well, this is that little door that I've made now. You can actually see it from there. Now, just have a look at the grain. You can see it's all a little bit dirty where I've been dragging it around. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the Rubio Monocoat now and put a new coat on that and see what comes up. Well, here we go. This is the Rubio Monocoat. There, you can see it there, and it's environmental friendly, and this is what they put on the aero decking board. Some along the edge here. We've exposed it. Obviously this is put on in factory conditions, but this is what they call the touch-up, the Rubio Monocoat touch-up. And you can see, I'll show you a bit closer there, you can actually see the difference obviously, but we'll see what it looks like when it dries out. Put a little bit more on that and just wipe it on. Like so. This is what they use for backsplashes in kitchens. This is called the driftwood. Put a little bit more on that, what I think I'm going to need. So this is some offcuts that I've had left over. sort of be generous with this because I've got plenty of touch up here. Sort of get it right in, put it along there, and on that drip bar. You can see it's starting to dry already, you see. Just work it in the grain. You can do as well, put some on the end grain here where I've cut it. I'll make sure that I put some on all the way around there. This will just come off very, very easily off your hand, but it really does get into the wood. That's what they actually do with this wood. They'll burn it first, almost like that Japanese method, yakisugi, where they really burn it hard and then they rub it off to make the grain nice and smooth and tactile. You can actually see it coming out there. You can imagine if you're doing a decked area and you had to go and just touch it up, you do it quite quick. There you go. Just looks like an aged piece of wood now. There we are, you can see it better in the sun here now. Look at that. I think that looks really good. I'm really pleased. It's just got that little drip bar on the end, so any water running down the face can run off. I've actually put a rebate on each piece as well, so it joins together, and I've got glue in between, and I've screwed it. It's as alleged and braced on the back, so that's going to go into my little loft space. Let that dry off now a little bit. Well, I've got the hinges and no screws, no bolts, so can't get that finished. Well, I haven't been able to get any bolts and screws for the hinges for the door, but I have got some bone meal now, and this is going to feed the root system, phosphorus for the roots, and nitrogen for the foliage of the leaf in the plant. So I'm desperate for this at the moment. Couldn't get anywhere the last couple of weeks, but I found some today, and this is from Westlands. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I'm going to feed this Ilex crenata over here now, this cloud tree, with some of that, because it hasn't had any for a while, but it's still done reasonably well. So that's the job now. Well, I'm on a bit of a whinge now. I'm feeling sorry for myself. Haven't got a beer. It's sunny, but I'm not going to go out to get a beer. It's not even worth it. I've got a can of lemonade, and we haven't done Sunday dinner today. A lot of people are going to be saying now, why is he talking about Sunday dinner and having a can of lemonade and doing vlogs about that? But the fact is that this resonates with some people, and there's nothing wrong with sharing what you're doing, you know. And all day I film those little bits in this vlog. The things I've been doing, the challenges I've had. Can't get those bolts and those screws. Found a perfect hinge for that little door, and I couldn't get the screws or the bolts, which is a bit disappointing. I couldn't get that done, but there you go. But hey, I'm alive, and I'm sat here listening to the evening chorus now. It's about 4:45, 5 o'clock nearly, and it's absolutely stunning. And I don't need a beer. I've got Alison, my wife, here, the dogs, cold lemonade, and I can look forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow is another opportunity.